you look at a crocodile's head, when he's in the water, all you see is half an inch of nostril and an eyeball. Everything else is underwater.
He can submerge completely and silently by simply expelling some of the air in his large lungs. And like a submarine with senses, he's built to operate underwater. Flaps protect his ears, nose, and throat. And a thin, transparent membrane covers his eyes. The croc is a close-in assassin. He creeps toward his prey and sits tight. He's waiting for a wildebeest to come into his kill radius, 2 meters away. Outside 2 meters, his lunge will probably be unsuccessful. Inside 2 meters is another story. So, how does this croc explode out of the water at 12 meters per second? Serrated scales increase the surface area in contact with the water. For the croc, that means smoother sailing. His rear legs work like pistons, providing just enough of a boost to propel him off the shallow river bottom. But the real power comes from his undulating muscular tail, half the length of his body, accelerating him towards his prey, faster than a jet plane. So in the blink of an eye, his jaws are right where he wants them, ready to attack. Now, the feeding begins. This croc's stealth hunting leads to a huge caloric payday. A meal with over 50,000 calories. But back at the hiding pool, this mother croc is near the end of her fat reserves. Producing eggs and protecting her young is tremendously energy depleting. Each day without food costs this mother croc another 1,200 calories. What's worse, after starting with 40 hatchlings, only 12 are left. But even at a month old, unparalleled adversity can't keep them from what nature intended. To hunt and kill, right from the get-go.
Anything that's small enough to get their head or their jaws around and moves, they're gonna go for it. Insects, small frogs, small fish, they're just gonna snap at it.
Growing hatchlings must eat 5% of their own weight each week. And even at 2 weeks old, they already know a maneuver that will help them eat much larger prey. The death roll. It's the same technique this adult crocodile on the Mara River needs to dismember the wildebeest he just killed.
One of the animals will grab hold, another one will start twisting or body rolling. You'll sometimes have two crocodiles twist in opposite directions till they rip a piece of meat off in half, and each one will swallow it and it'll come back in.
With no hands, the crocs don't have enough leverage to tear the wildebeest apart. So spinning once, twice, or sometimes even 3 times around their own axis, they generate more than 200 kilograms of force, creating the torque and shearing force necessary to rip off chunks of wildebeest. But dismemberment is only half the battle. His mouth and jaws make for a deadly grasp, but he can't actually chew. His jaw won't move sideways. So this predator has to swallow huge pieces whole. And this puts an enormous strain on his digestive system. But his stomach is specially designed to process these massive slabs of meat. Food goes through his esophagus and drops down into an area of his stomach filled with small stones that he has swallowed. They tumble and grind the wildebeest parts. Bones, tendons, horns, hooves, whatever it is, it gets broken down. Then, the smaller pieces mix with high concentrations of hydrochloric acid, acidic enough to corrode metal. But to protect his own stomach, he secretes an alkaline solution, a base, which neutralizes the acid. Hence, the wildebeest is digested, but not the crocodile himself.
It's an amazing animal. He'll turn a 2.5-foot leg into a 6-inch turd in about 2 weeks. Say he gets part of your leg. He can swallow a whole leg, long ways. Whoop, down it goes, straight down through the gullet. Shoe, socks, everything goes into the stomach.
In the weeks of the wildebeest migration across the Mara, one crocodile can actually consume enough wildebeest meat to sustain it for as long as 2 years. This is important because 2 weeks after they arrive, the wildebeest are gone. And leaner times may be coming. This mother croc, her hatchlings already dying at an alarming rate, has a new problem. The hiding pool is evaporating. To survive, she and her offspring will have to find a new pond, which means traveling over land. For a young crocodile, a land voyage is a dangerous one. So this mother waits until the cover of night to take her babies on the most dangerous trip of their young lives. They only have to move 160 meters. It'll take them less than 5 minutes. But that's a long time with hungry predators at every turn.
And when baby crocodiles are crossing those land areas, they become very vulnerable to other species that are going to eat them.
Fortunately, the whole family makes it to a new watering hole unharmed. But their troubles aren't over. There's one predator these babies may not be able to avoid. A fearsome hunter, more than 3,000 times their size. The predator they least expect. Their own mother. How can she eat one of her own babies that she's worked so hard to protect? Eating her young is a last resort. She needs the energy to keep herself alive so she can protect the rest of her offspring. This mother will eat anything she can just to survive. But the crocodiles at the river crossing have been having the feast of their lives, having each consumed on average more than 150,000 calories in less than 2 weeks. But this isn't really gluttony. More like practicality. They have to prepare for long stretches without a good meal. By digging a hole into a riverbank, this croc crawls deep inside where it's cool and dark. Then, the result of unique biological engineering, he can slow his body down. It may seem like he's near death, but the crocodile is temporarily in standby mode. It's called estivation.
It's like when you turn on your car engine, you just want to listen to the radio, just give it the half turn, and that's it. And that's all the croc needs.
In this state, he needs very little energy to survive, and very little oxygen either. He breathes through oversized, efficient lungs, and he does it episodically, as little as a breath or two every couple minutes. His body temperature lowers to match that of his environment. Underground, it drops 15 degrees or more. And this drop drastically slows his metabolism, including his heart, which does something truly extraordinary, slowing from 40 beats per minute to 5. And he can stay that way for a year. Like hibernation in mammals, estivation allows him to conserve power until he really needs it. While these crocs lay in wait, this mother makes a difficult choice. She needs to leave her babies. Even though they've grown 10 centimeters in the 4 months she's watched over them, they're still at the mercy of other bigger predators. But this mother needs to find food to get ready for the next mating season. It's time for the 11 remaining hatchlings to fend for themselves.
Presenting the Apex Predators Awards, featuring the fiercest meat lovers. Yummy. The categories are the best lightning strike, the best killer packs, and the best modus operandi. It is the biggest killer event of the year. Apex Predators Awards, next on Nat Geo Wild.